Going on, guys? Today we're going to be doing a throttle body swap in a 2002 Honda Accord V6.
First we're going to remove the cover. All it needs is a flathead screwdriver.
Speak up.
And that reveals the throttle body. For this job we're probably going to need just 10mm socket, a needle nose pliers, and that was a 12, sorry. A needle nose plier and a Phillips screwdriver, along with a flathead. If you have an intake on there, it'll make things a lot easier if you just remove the intake first. If you haven't put an aftermarket intake, that's just about as simple to take the stock intake out too. I shouldn't have loosened this one.
Can you go ahead and pull this hard line out? Cool.
I'm going to pull the sensors off.
Throttle position sensor, possibly.
Yes. And then maybe this one, right?
Yep. Yep.
That's all it took. Oh, I love how these come off easily.
Now loosen the two bottom bolts. We already loosened the top two. Or just that.
Need an extension for that, maybe?
I can't even see it. Yeah, we'll need an extension. All these bolts were actually really loose. And the throttle body's not too hatefully filthy.
Now we need the open end to get this one off.
Yeah. We're gonna start removing the hardest bolt first. This bottom one. This other bottom one. Two top ones are nuts. There's just one more hose that's got to be removed, and it's the bottom coolant line.
And would you?
One of us. Guess I will be that guy.
Let me put there you go.
We swapped over the upper coolant hose from the old throttle body to the new one. So I'm not quite sure if the camera caught the final footage. Let's put them back together, so I'm going to give us a little recap. Put the throttle body back on the two top studs, tighten the nuts, put the two bottom bolts in. It's basically a reversal of taking it off. You're going to put your coolant lines back on, clip them, put your sensors back on, and then the same thing with the throttle cables. You got to rotate this back a little bit and then slide it into the slot and pop it into the hole. And retighten these nuts right here to tighten it to the throttle cable bracket.
Can't forget these nuts.
Can't forget what?
These nuts. Everyone's a comedian. It's bad enough to try to be a mechanic. Or a comedian. Okay, this needs to go back just a tiny little freaking bit more. Have we forgotten anything?
I think that's it. Put the filter back on and test it and see if cruise control works now. Yeah, the whole purpose of this job was to get cruise control working again, because the old plastic piece on the old throttle body had broken and the cable wasn't attached anymore to it. So here we have a throttle body from the 98 to 02 Honda Accord V6, and this right here is what happens when your cruise control pulley breaks. So your cruise control runs a lot like your throttle body, or throttle cable. The secondary cable, this is your throttle body cable here. Note that's made out of metal. And then your cruise control one here, it's made out of plastic. That's your failure point. Here you should be able to see it because it's a little bit better. So the solution, we have a Dremel. Got a piece of copper fitting, and what we did was we notched it out with a carbon bit. We notched it out this way here, and then took this bit and made the final cut going down. Cut that to fit. We just tested it. It actually fits the cable. And then we're going to take some JB Weld epoxy, two-part epoxy. We're going to epoxy it right here in this pulley, like so. And that should do the trick to get cruise control working again. So right now we're mixing the two-part epoxy JB Weld, and that's going to be our glue for the copper and the plastic. And now we're applying the JB Weld epoxy. So now we have the copper fitting placed in the plastic. We're going to add some more JB Weld around it.
Just making sure we got all the sides of it.
closed in.
One continuous piece.
All the extra is just to try to strengthen it, so we don't have the same problem again. Where that little hole
Oh
is.
yeah, I see it. Probably won't see it on camera, so you can't focus very closely. It's very wide angle.